Welcome back to 4 Geeks by Geeks, the place where geeks come to geek out. I'm Jeff Sitz, your fearless frontman for furious, fire-breathing frights, foul feints, and a few unfortunately phallic funnies that when fused together form Dungeons & Dragons. If you've been with us the past couple of weeks, we are honored by your return patronage, and you keep being amazing. If you just joined us this week, or you haven't been able to keep up with every episode, don't worry, you're still amazing. But you could be more amazing, because you can catch up with all of our foolhardiness by looking up 4 Geeks by Geeks on YouTube for the VOD, or anywhere podcasts are released, and you can listen to our sessions that have been slightly edited for listening ease. Also, don't forget to tune in Mondays for Geek Out sessions with Boser, or Wednesdays to hang out on T-Paints. Now with housekeeping out of the way, let me introduce our players. We have T filling the role of the fate-tempting faux philanthropist, Melos. Boser fixing to play the fearful fire-flinging foundling, Mehrik. And Lucas finding himself as the fleet-footed far traveler Gaia and his fire-breathing familiar Nuri. How are y'all doing this week?
Oh, it's going.
Happy to be playing some D&D.
We had a bit of a rough one the past couple of weeks, so I'm hoping to not give you a break this week either.
If you did, I think I'd leave the show.
I was not sure that we were coming out of that last one.
Oh, no, you guys were coming out.
Like, how was it just sitting and watching and doing absolutely nothing the entire episode?
I know. I felt so bad about that.
I mean, getting stuck at a door for 25 minutes.
What do you mean? I don't know.
Typical D&D fashion. There's a door.
The bane of every D&D party, a basic door.
Exactly what Gary Gygax envisioned.
Low intelligence characters.
Excuse me. High intelligence,
shut up, sword.
just very short.
Wizard.
Short.
That's the problem, is we either have low intelligence and they don't think of the simple options, or we have high intelligence and they think past the simple option.
Yeah, well, low intelligence ripped the
The average guy was dead, so.
Right. But
+2 in both intelligence, wisdom. I'm your median across the board.
So previously, on Dungeons & Dragons Ball Z, our adventurers explored an uncharted island full of strangely geometric patterns, fought scientifically improved creatures, and lost 2 friends, Melos and Myth, to one such fight. They were brought back using some of the technology in the underground temple that Mehrik was able to decipher due to his time at the Institute, but brought back in different bodies. Gaia was revealed to be part of the enclave that attacked that very institute where Mehrik grew up, but only because the institute is believed to be at fault for stealing dragon eggs from Gaia's people. We pick back up the next morning. Everyone is back on the ship. The ship is at sea. It's quiet, creaking slowly as it rocks back and forth on the waves in the early morning hours, with the first people waking up or the last people heading to bed, crossing the common area of the lower deck. Which one of you wakes up first?
Melos probably slept like absolute shit.
Not used to that tail, buddy.
It's a lot different trying to sleep with, like the spine scales digging into your back all night long.
Yeah, I think Melos, honest to God, if we get into combat, I'm not even sure I would say Melos had a long rest. Coming back from this, I have a hard time believing Melos would have anything but like imposter syndrome at this point, because not only did Melos faint, but Melos died. Melos technically crossed the barrier and then was forced back into this realm.
You'll get a long rest, but give me a Constitution saving throw. I feel like this will be more fair and give you more opportunity.
16 plus 2, 18.
Okay. So you are tired, but mechanically I'm not going to give you a point of exhaustion.
Yeah,
you
I
still
would
get your
say,
long rest.
Because I think technically you gave Melos the long rest. Physically, I think mentally he is more drained than anything. and would probably just kind of tossed and turned all night, and then eventually just sat on the main deck of the ship and just watched the water
Tell you what,
until sunrise.
during one of these points where you are sleeping, it's not restful, but you are sleeping. And as you open your eyes, you look around, and you realize that the ship is no longer around you. You are lying on a bed, suspended in the middle of the ocean, just floating there. And you look around, you see, far off in the distance, some movement. I think it could be one of the great fish of the sea. It could be just waves, underground currents, or underwater currents passing by. It could be any number of things that you aren't intimidated by being underwater. You look around to the other side, and there's the vast emptiness of the ocean. What do you do?
I think at one point, Melos, that would have been more or less Melos's safe place. But now knowing that he can no longer live two lives like he once did, and can no longer even sustain underwater anymore, I think Melos would honestly be terrified at this point.
Okay. So terrified, what do you do?
Melos would probably kind of slowly open his eyes as he's kind of rocking with the waves. And at one point, I think in that first thought process was good to be awake, just feeling the ocean. And then he kind of just sits up, notices the scales on his body, the golden scales as compared to the cool blue flesh tone that once was. It immediately strikes into a panic as he kind of sits up. Not quite gets into the fetal position, but definitely his breathing starts to get quicker as he starts to hyperventilate.
Yeah, point of, or to clarify, you sit up and you've got your feet dangling off the bed at first, as there's the empty ocean below you as well.
Oh yeah, he would immediately pull his feet out of the ocean and kind of sit 100% onto the bed.
Okay. So yeah, you are just rocking back and forth, the ocean no longer giving you the comforting cradle that it used to, that you have so often looked for in the ocean, and now you don't know where to turn for it. But you do feel the water around you get colder.
I think Melos would immediately check for the bloodstone, regardless of the fact this would be a dream. I think Melos would still have such a natural attachment to bloodstone. I think he would immediately pull it, especially if water's getting cold.
Yeah. You pull it out, and there is a... Yeah, you pull it out, and it's glowing faintly, as it always does. Do you try to use it? Yeah, because I think still on some level, Melos would want to find comfort in some level of familiarity. It cracks. And as you hold it there in your hand, you see the gentle stream of red flowing out of it, out into the ocean. And it starts to fade and go dark. The darkness of the ocean becoming overwhelming as it closes in around you, and your usual underwater sight fades away.
No, bitch, I don't even have dark vision anymore.
And you hear a voice echo. You hear it first far off in the distance, and then it echoes closer and closer and closer, and you catch part of that echo as it still passes you and echoes far off in the distance in the opposite direction. What did you do?
Would Melos recognize the voice?
Not immediately.
Okay. What do you mean? What did I do? I didn't ask for this. I thought it was over. I thought I died. I got to move on to the other side, and now I'm here, and I don't even know what I am.
You have left the path.
And I think in a moment of panic, I think Melos would leave the bed and just fall into the water.
All right. You rock forward, and you're underwater still, so it's a gentle, like, you push off, and the bed slowly floats away behind you. It's hard to tell whether you're floating still, floating down, or floating up.
What
but you
does
realize
Melos see in just kind of the surrounding water?
As you step forward or push yourself off the bed, you realize that you can't breathe underwater anymore. And you start to choke. You can't find the same breath that you used to being underwater. So looking around, panicked, you don't see anything. You have a sphere of about 10 feet around you that you can kind of make out shapes. But even if, or I should say, you would be able to make out shapes if there were any, but there's nothing around you. It's just a darkness encroaching, closing in. You must find your way back to me. Otherwise, I can never help you. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 10.
As you choke, trying to get some air, and water rushes in down your throat, filling in your lungs. You gasp for anything. Water, maybe you can try and breathe it. Air, because that's the only thing that you can breathe now. Everything fades to black around you. And you sit up, all of a sudden, in your bed, on the ship, in a cold sweat.
I think Melos would immediately put his feet onto the ground for reassurance that he is, in fact, on ground now and not on... Obviously, they're on water, but I think Melos would kind of throw himself off to the bed and...
Click, click, as your claws hit the wood below you.
Yeah, Melos's next thing would be looking for any form of alcohol that would be available on the ship at this time of morning.
It's very early. Looking out the windows, or looking towards the windows on the ship, you have barely the first glow of the sun on the horizon. It hasn't even touched the horizon yet. But you make your way to the common area of the lower deck, towards the galley, and you see Vaughn in there, already getting prepped with breakfast and everything. I don't know you.
If it makes you feel any better, I can't say I know myself.
Can I help you with anything?
A very stiff drink right now would be incredible.
They reach up onto the shelf, pull a cork out of a bottle, and grab 2 glasses. Pour one for themselves, pour one for you, puts the bottle back. They picked you up at the last island, right? Hands you a glass.
Yeah, I guess kind of. It's Melos.
Interesting. We have I think he's a merfolk, but we got one named Melos already, so you two might get along.
It's me, Vaughn.
I thought it was Melos.
I'm gonna go to the main deck. Thanks, bud.
Cheers. Hope you find yourself. and goes back to cooking.
Yeah,
Who's the
then
next one up?
Milos would make his way to the main deck to watch the sunrise while sipping on whatever Vaughn gave him.
Who's the next one up?
I would have been sleeping near Melos, and I think I didn't sleep super well because that was just a lot that happened yesterday. And so I think when Melos got up, I would have like kind of opened my eyes and seen him walk out. And so this whole time, Mehrik was kind of just like padding behind you, watching you, almost like studying you a little bit because...
Are you trying not to be noticed?
Not until we get up to the main deck, and I'd like to join him.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
16.
Melos, what is your passive perception?
18.
Oh, okay. So I'll put it this way. You notice Mehrik following along behind you, but you probably don't care.
Don't give a flying fuck.
So, Mehrik, you are none the wiser that Melos has noticed you. You think, because you are doing a pretty good job of being stealthy, like stepping over sleeping people, climbing underneath the table and walking underneath them to follow behind him into the galley. And so you join him up on the main deck.
And I'm just going to kind of pad up next to you. Melos?
Sup, kid?
Have you ever done something because you thought it was the right thing, but then after you're not sure if it was the right thing?
Do you remember the tale I told to that frog folk?
Yeah.
There's nothing to be prideful of killing dozens. Regardless of the fact somebody is a menace, regardless of the fact somebody is a warmonger, it's not my place to take fates into my own hands, and I did it anyways. Just because you think it's right, I guess really at the end of the day, as long as you can live with yourself and the decisions you make. Right, wrong, subjective, doesn't really matter.
Did it hurt when you came back?
Physically? No.
Huh. Are you mad at me?
That's a tough question, kid. Because on one hand, I need to thank you for saving my life, and I also need to apologize for failing to protect you like I should have. But you're old enough. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you what's been done to me is comforting. I feel like I don't know what I feel like a stranger in somebody else's body.
Well, I guess technically you are. I just... You're the first real friend, other than Coggin, that I've ever had, and I wasn't ready to say goodbye.
I understand that, kid. And I can relate. This is the most I've ever been on above the water. I had a whole life in these depths, and I was forced out of it. I lost everything once, and now I feel like I have to relive that pain because I can't go back. There was no goodbye. I always was able to hold on to this faint possibility that one day I could return to my life, and that possibility is now gone.
Well, it would have been gone either way, I guess.
Yeah. And Melos at this point is going to check his bloodstone to see if the dream was right or if it was just a dream.
You pull the bloodstone out. You think on it. Focus on it. The same way that you have a dozen times before to check the location of your sister. About 50 miles behind and about 20 degrees off to the right.
On some level, it's comforting to know I still have her. And I know that's weird with the fact she's already tried killing me. I should probably also let somebody know that she's still tailing us.
Real quick. Gaia, when do you wake up?
I'm still probably sleeping in the hold of the ship with Nuri.
Okay.
Probably around sunrise, because I'm assuming that Nuri was gonna want to fly around and catch the early morning fish and whatnot.
Perfect. Then during this conversation, Melos and Mehrik, if you want to continue it, we can. Otherwise, we're just going to fast forward half an hour or so, and Gaia comes up onto the deck with Nuri, who immediately, Nuri has been growing pretty regularly over the past few months now since you guys have met. So during yesterday, I know we didn't really touch too much on how big Nuri was, but she wasn't riding around in the backpack anymore because she's about the size of a large dog at this point.
She a thick boy. Just 2 C's, no 3 C's yet.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
And the wings on her back have become more and more pronounced. Before, they would just kind of flutter around. Sometimes she would be able to glide with them a little bit to slow her descent, but never before has she been able to fly. And so coming up onto the deck, she actually, she's behind Gaia as he sprints up the steps onto the deck, and she comes running up the stairs, leaps, flaps her wings once to catch Gaia on the shoulders and with her hind legs, and pushes off him up into the air and starts flying around the mast of the ship, letting out little spurts of... Does she do fire?
She does fire.
Okay. Letting out little spurts of fire as she's flying around the mast, weaving in and out of rigging, and then she goes up past the crow's nest to be little more than a speck in the sky, and then you see her come rocketing down.
I hate the fact that my headcanon song of this was fucking High School Musical, fucking Vanessa Hudgens and fucking Zac Efron singing to each other.
Yeah, I hate
so
that
many
too.
better songs to fucking encapsulate this moment. And that's where my brain was like, yeah, soaring, flying, that's the song we're going with
exactly.
here.
But she dives down, barely a splash as she hits the water.
Wow.
Pew.
But yeah, the three of you are up on deck. There's a few people walking around, meandering around. A few of them wave as they pass by.
Big
Morning,
important
gents.
question.
Yeah.
Was I able to find clothes that fit?
Not super well, but there's all sorts of different clothing on board because there's all sorts of different people on board, so you can find something that fits, but it's not tailored like what your clothes were.
I think at the moment, Melos would probably just be in trousers of some sort.
Most likely trousers and the generic
very, very
flowy,
loose. Yeah.
the flowy, billowy pirate shirt.
Yeah.
Some strapping.
Yeah. exactly.
Look, I'm kind of handy with the thread and needle, as you can see about these sails. I mean, I could maybe.
Yeah.
You look up and like
if you could.
you look up at the sail that he's pointing at, and there's like a massive just gash in it with
It's like
very
unfurled.
yeah, like very rough leather stitching going across the gash in it, and like it's holding it together, but there's still like a half-inch of space between the two sides.
The sails are a little different, but this bag is really nice. Made this bag.
The bag is really nice.
I mean, honestly, you carry around a dragon. Oh, okay, I'm not carrying you around, but
I want to laugh at that joke, but that kind of hurts. I'm not gonna lie.
look, you gotta learn to make fun of the situations to lighten.
It hasn't even been 12 hours. I think I get some grieving time to process this.
You're alive.
Behind you, you hear the clinking of metal as Sunny, in his still like, he's always wearing some sort of armor because he's always ready for some sort of fight. That's just the kind of person he is.
In fact, about that life.
He is, in fact, about that life. He's the... I mentioned this before. He respects the captain for her no-nonsense mindset, and he is one of the few people on the ship who tries to establish discipline everywhere he goes. And so he's always, like, dressed in at least half armor in case something goes wrong. But he steps forward with, like, the half-plate greaves on, the yellow, the blue overcoat with the... Actually, I've got a picture of him. Why am I trying to just remember what he looks like rather than just using the picture? But yeah, he comes up with his yellow overcoat, blue shirt, and yellow-blue gambeson underneath. He's got his metal bracers on, his metal greaves on. Comes forward, one hand on the hilt of his saber, the other one twirling his mustache as he steps forward towards the bow of the ship. Always beautiful, isn't it? The sunrise. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Points at Melos. We haven't met yet, have we?
It's Sonny. We discussed this last night. It's Melos.
No, Melos is blue-skinned.
Melos.
He looks a lot like
died.
this guy over here.
I'm Melos.
This is Melos. It's Melos. It's my
Give me
fault.
a persuasion check. I'll do advantage because Mehrik chiming in.
I'm sorry. What was I rolling?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. +0.
Nice.
Oh, you said with advantage?
Yep.
Thank God that was a 5. 15.
15. I'm pretty sure Melos looks like Gaia over here.
Sonny,
But,
that's a little racist. We're two entirely different species.
What a sunrise, am I right?
Just look out. Like, yeah, this is uncomfortable now. And look out, and there's just a dragon, like, dolphining in the water on the sunrise.
Yeah, exactly.
This got a little awkward.
Hey, Gaia.
Yes, Mary.
I know that I yelled at you back yesterday,
It's okay.
but why do you think there was an Arcana Institute so far?
Who knows what's out here? Who knows why anything or what? We don't know. This is... People that venture out here normally do not come back. So who knows what they were doing out here, or why they set up such an island, or...
But it was like the whole island. My Arcana Institute wasn't so big.
We don't know. And
You
unfortunately...
do know, though. You were there.
Oh, We don't know.
Sunny
why.
is still
Sorry,
just
is it too
standing.
soon for jokes now?
Sunny is still just standing next to the three of you, like as close as the three of you are to each other. He's standing there as well, just like
That sunrise.
that sunrise.
Right.
Ain't it a beaut?
But we don't know why. We don't. We know it's there. Now at the bottom of the sea, but there's just no telling what. I mean, there was no one there to talk to. A lot of those books were destroyed and ruined.
That's a really sad day.
I know, but maybe there's more islands like this out there. Which means we need to be careful.
But did you really pick up Nuri from my home?
Yes.
Is that the only reason you were there?
It is the only reason we were there.
Melos wants an insight check on that.
Go for it.
15 plus 2, 17. The reason, not that I distrust Gaia, Melos wants to know more about this institute, because obviously they are capable of taking one soul and putting it in a different body.
Gaia, you don't need to tell me what you rolled, whether it was like a deception or what. Just what was the base D20 roll?
14.
Okay. That was the Melos. It was the only reason Gaia was there.
Okay.
That much is true. Gaia seems a little like there was a pause as Gaia said, that's the only reason we were there.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm not doing anything with that. That was just a Melos wanting to see how well he can trust his compatriots.
It's because Gaia, talking to you now, you know that there were people who were there just for vengeance. You constantly, like, I'll leave it up to you how you approached them or confronted them or interacted with them, but you were there for Nuri. You wanted to try and rescue the dragons, and there were other people there who were of the same mindset, but there were people who thought that it was a lost cause to try and get the dragons back, and that they were just there to get revenge. And that's why things went as poorly as they did.
Okay.
Did you kill my family?
I tried to do no harm to anyone in there. I defended myself and did what I could to get Nuri out of there, and that was it.
Gaia, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. 7.
You feel a strange fuzziness come over your mind as you are talking about it. You shake your head free, and you don't feel it anymore, but you're also a little on edge after that.
Can
Mehrik.
I try and, like, recognize that feeling? Is that the same feeling that I felt before that voice popped in our heads in the cave?
Give me an Arcana check. Mehrik, you do hear... Still be careful trusting him. But I believe he is telling the truth.
17.
It's the same feeling. You have a suspicion that it is that same voice.
I just think back to Kagen. Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna do anything with that. With Sunny being
Okay.
here. With Sunny being
Mehrik.
here, I'm gonna keep this between the party and that was Sunny.
Remember the conversation we were just having. Perception in these circumstances, especially at your age, you're gonna have a hard time understanding. From your viewpoint, you were attacked. Your family was killed, and that is terrible. But at the same time, Gaia's perspective of this circumstance is entirely different from yours. They were going back to get what was taken from them, which from my understanding is Gaia's duty. Neither one of you are right, neither one of you are wrong. But there's always multiple sides to the tale to know who is in the wrong here.
You hear heavy footsteps coming up the stairs behind, and a booming voice go,
Good morning, ship. Good morning, sky. Good morning, ocean. Good morning, friends.
Why the fuck is everybody on this ship so damn happy in the morning?
I feel like that's what
I'm not a morning person.
Bastion
at all.
does every morning. Good morning, Sky.
Verbatim, just.
and
Hello, son.
yeah, exactly. Gaia and Melos, you both feel the heavy hands of Bastion coming up coming up next to you, and just,
How are you two doing today? You had quite the experience yesterday.
Melos is just gonna turn around and hug him.
Oh,
and he just pats you on the back of the head as he's holding you in. He's still got a hand on your shoulder, Gaia. Just
It's
Yeah, there. Let it out. It is okay.
it's a little different. We're not the two in blue anymore.
That is true.
at least people can tell you apart now.
Yeah, Sonny.
and just he is doing his best to just stay stalwart and just space forward. What a sunrise.
Is Melos closer in size now to Bastion?
Slightly. Bastion is still like he's half giant.
I'm not
so he's
expecting
massive,
this
but,
Dragonborn to be fucking half giant size.
I mean,
but-
yeah, you're still a good like maybe 8 to 12 inches taller than what you were before. Depending. I can't remember exactly how tall
Melos is just trying
was.
to figure out who he's going to for clothing assistance.
Yeah.
And I think
so,
Bastion's going to be the closest.
Just like sizing people up, and you're like,
yeah.
size
there's
wasted.
honestly there's still what's his name? Lug, I think was his name.
I don't think we've met Lug yet.
I don't know a lug.
You've
No.
mentioned Lug,
Yeah.
metagame aspect-wise.
Lob. We've got Lob. He is a full-blooded orc. And so he's probably going to be closer to your size
Okay.
than Bastion would be.
Cool.
But yeah, so you've got all... So Bastion's there and he's just like patting you on the back of the head like,
It is okay. Let it all out. But if there is anything that I can do to help make any of you more comfortable after yesterday, please just let me know. Or actually, Captain might be upset if you let me know that, so maybe you should go talk to Lizzie about that since she is first mate now.
I don't think Lizzie's going to care. I need more fitting clothing, to be honest.
She may not care, but it is your job to help you out with that now. I have other responsibilities I need to attend to, and I need to make sure that I attend to those responsibilities. Otherwise, the captain gets very angry and she yells at me, and I do not like it when she yells at me.
Yeah, forcing Lizzie to work is always a good time, so...
Do you know? Hi, I'm down here.
And Bastion
Hi, don't step on
lets
me.
go of Melos and squats down and is still like you. Even with him squatting down, you come up to like his knee.
Still cranking your neck
Yeah,
upwards to look
exactly.
at him.
What can I do for you, little one?
Do you know where we're going?
You are going beyond the edge.
he said it.
Yeah, like I get that whole thing. But like right now, like are we just pointed this direction and just going straight, or
Exactly that.
have
Yeah,
we
sorry,
passed?
Curiosity, what nautical direction are we heading?
West.
Okay.
East.
Have we passed the edge of the map yet?
Oh yes. We are in uncharted waters at this point.
Really? So no one's been this far?
There are a few who have been, but no one has ever. There are no land masses or islands this far out.
Dead men tell no tales.
Exactly. If anyone has,
And then Melos gets sad
recorded-
because he has a tail.
Andy was
if
dead.
anyone has recorded these waters, they have not made it back to the mainland to share them with everyone else.
But why are we going beyond the edge of the map? Are we map makers now?
If there is a crew that is able to chart these waters, it is going to be us. If we never make it back, then at least we had a great adventure. And we are trying to find the edge of the world. We want to know what is there.
Side
So
note,
it's a
is
knowledge
Bastian the one
expedition.
I need to inform of for Siren still following us, or is that also a Lizzie?
I mean, Bastian could be the one that you inform about it.
Oh, I just wasn't sure like how high up the chain I needed to go for potential combatant issues.
Bastian would probably be a better person to talk to about that, just because he can, any of the officers really, because
Okay.
they can bring it up with the captain.
Gotcha.
You do know that the officers, all of the officers, so Bastian, Temple, Lizzie, what other officers are there?
Temple.
Really, it's those three have a meeting with the captain almost every day, just to go over the workings and happenings of the ship.
Gotcha.
Who's Temple?
Did I say Temple? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say
got
Temple
confu-
is-
Yeah, Temple was you. Candle.
There it is.
Yeah, Candle, Bastian, and Lizzie.
I do like the idea of Temple still being alive and with us, but
It'd be fun, but
not gonna
unfortunate-
self-insert here.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. But yeah, that is something that you could talk to Bastian about.
I'll wait until Mehrik finishes his conversation with him.
All right.
So it's like a search for knowledge?
Of sorts, yes. It is a search for things that no one knows.
And Mehrik just like kind of lights up and like stands next to Sunny watching the sunrise.
Sonny takes his hand off of the hilt of his saber and just places it on your head. Has to bend, goes to place it on your head and then leans over until he reaches your head.
And
Isn't
I'm just
it
gonna
beautiful?
cast levitate and
Fill
so
the
that I can
gap.
see over the whale.
Perfect. And he just kind of leans back into place with a hand on your shoulder.
Yeah, Melos is
Bastian,
gonna pull out the bloodstone.
Well, there's much to do on the ship.
Bastian, before you go, just wanted to keep you in the loop that the bitch is still following us.
Right, the beach.
Yeah, she's about 50 miles north of us.
Bastian leans over to you, Gaia.
Where is the beach again?
That would be his sister, the one that attacked us months ago.
Oh, right. I will let the captain know. That way we can make sure that we are prepared.
Thanks, Bastian.
Absolutely. But there is much to do on the ship before the day gets too old. So I will leave you all to your schedules. It was good seeing you all.
And he takes off back towards the stern of the ship. But you've got the day ahead of you. Honestly, you've got a couple weeks ahead of you. We're gonna do a little bit of a time jump again. There is
Time jump means level up.
we already leveled up to 7 last week, so
I was hoping you forgot.
not gonna do that again. But you've got a couple of weeks of downtime ahead of you. Obviously, you've got your responsibilities on the ship to take care of and everything still. But what would you like to do during your couple of weeks of downtime while you are on the open ocean? And honestly, I think we should do a technical difficulties because I've got to take care of something real quick. So think on that while I am away, and really it'll be a blip for you, audience, so we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry about that. I've got my own little family here that I want to make sure that I'm taking care of as well while we're doing this. I don't want to neglect them.
Fuck them kids.
That kid is a cat, and if I leave him alone for too long, he might start destroying things, and I don't want that.
Like last
But
week.
trust me, I get it.
Yeah.
Cats are assholes. I can't stand either of ours.
But with that, you have 2 weeks ahead of you to do whatever you want with downtime, essentially. Gaia, do you want to continue training Nuri?
I do. Let me pull out.
Okay. What
Wonderful.
are you going to try and train Nuri in this time around?
Let's see. Nuri. Let's do.
Do you want some time to think on that?
Yes, I gotta reference
Alright.
which ones we have and which ones we don't.
Cool. Then I'll let you think on that for a bit. Mehrik, Melos, do either one of you have a preference on who goes first?
I know what I'm doing, so
Let's start with Melos then. Mehrik, you think a little bit more. Just have it ready when we come around to you, all right? Melos?
Melos, now being in a new body, is going to need to learn how to use said body. So he is actually going to talk with the crew members and ask if he can steal from them throughout this time period so he can learn to use his new body to his advantage and correctly. So he's not just going to blatantly rob everybody. He's going to ask them, like, hey, do you mind if I work on my physical
Pickpocketing
skills? Whether it be you hide something on the ship, whether I have to pickpocket you.
All right, then.
Which is
give
even
me
funnier because nobody believes it's Melos, so they think it's
Yeah.
just a new ship hand. Like, hey, you mind if I rob you? I'll give it back, but like, can I
Give
rob
me
you?
give me a persuasion check. I'm gonna say at disadvantage because you're trying to like just approach people in this new body.
In my defense, I would go towards like Bastian and Lizzie and Gaia. Those
you
who
are-
are more likely.
If you are narrowing it down to like the 3 to 4 people,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm going
go
to
ahead
like
and
the
just
people I have a connection with.
give me a persuasion check then.
Maybe the captain if she's in a good mood.
Ever. She's never in a
Yeah,
good
is
mood.
she ever?
15.
15. Bastian is. Bastian says,
Absolutely. Anything you want. I do not have much that you can steal from me. I have.
To clarify, I'm gonna give it back. I just need to figure out talons and a tail and
That makes sense. I only have. I have the shirt that I am wearing. I have the pants that are on me. I have an axe in my quarters, and I have this hat.
and it's the steel spearman's cap that he generally wears, but it doesn't fit. It just kind of rests on top of his head, kind of like a little Yamka.
so Bastian practicing stealing an axe and a hat.
Yeah. Lizzie goes, yeah, you can try.
Yeah, I feel like she's gonna be like the final challenge.
If I catch you stealing something from me, no promises. You get to keep your fingers.
Yeah, I mean that seems fair. I was gonna offer to buy you drinks if I lost, but yeah, we can go with just losing phalanges.
I will pin your hand to the fucking deck.
Yeah, you're gonna have to catch me first.
It's not going to be hard. And she walks away. So Lizzie knows that you're going to try and do it, and she welcomed you to try.
Perfect. That's all I'm going towards.
Gaia, what are your thoughts on Melos trying to steal from you?
Let's see. What can I have him try?
Actually, we'll roleplay that real quick. So Melos just like walked up and suggested this. Like he needs to try and get himself familiar with his own body. which may have led to a different conversation with some other people, but just need to try and steal some things from people. Are you willing to let him try?
You know, I really don't use it too much, but I have this dagger on my hip. We can give Nuri something, and you can try and get something by her. We can make it work. I mean, you trying to take her favorite bone away from her is gonna be hard, and I can't promise you won't get a little burnt.
Gaia, you hear a voice in your head. I will bite him.
Excuse me? Nuri talks?
You don't know that.
This is Boser freaking out. This is amazing.
I will take the scaled non-wing, and I will rip him to shreds if he tries to take my bone. As you just hear Nuri in the background just chewing on the same bone from the same Kotakula reef.
Yeah.
It's impressive that bone has lasted from an aging dragon.
It was a huge bone.
Gotcha.
Like it was like the femur of a large creature.
Of a Tarrasque.
No, not that big. It was like a horse femur, though.
For a couple gold, yeah, that's fine. I'll take a Tarrasque femur.
It was like a horse femur, so it was like this. Woo, it was like this big, like 3 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
And Nuri, like at this point, is a foot long.
Gotcha.
And you hear a distinct crunch as Nuri breaks off another piece of the bone.
Ooh.
All right,
you
so
do hear the
dagger
Nuri's
from
voice
Gaia,
is in
bone from
Draconic.
Nuri.
Nuri's voice is Draconic,
Yep.
like she's speaking Draconic in your head when you hear her voice.
Yep. So
Hey, I'll be able to speak with her if she ever chooses to speak with me.
canonically, she understands Draconic, and I think that's it actually.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was looking it up earlier today, so
unless I teach her.
I wanted to make sure I got this right.
Yep.
But yeah, so Melos, you have the opportunity to try and steal from some people.
Yep.
I will say over the course of the next few weeks, you have you'll have 3 attempts.
Cool.
Because it's not just like a simple pickpocket real quick. These are 3 times that you are kind of building up to.
Exactly.
Like, you do some easier things to test your skills, and then these are the 3 like big attempts.
Perfect.
Heists, mini heists, essentially. So, what's the first one?
I think I'm going to start with Bastian.
Okay. What are you trying to steal from him?
The hat off his head.
Go ahead and give me, for that one, give me a sleight of hand check.
Haha, perfect. 18 plus 10, 28.
Nice. All right. So yeah, you steal it off Bastian's head and you place it on your own head. And like it's ill-fitting on you as well because it's made for a human head. And you do not have the shape of a human head for the hat to fit. So it's also kind of like awkwardly sitting on top of your head. And throughout the day you approach Bastian several times to like try and show off the hat. And at first Bastian is just like,
there is something different about me today. I cannot put my finger on it, but I will figure it out.
and he pats you on the head and walks away. Later in the day, he's like, he passes by you again, just looks at you.
That is a new hat. I like it.
And walks away again. And then comes back up to you, like, hours later.
Melos, I have something I need your help with. I know that you have eyes all over. Your head is on a swivel, and you notice things that others do not.
Yeah. What do you need help with?
I cannot find my helmet.
But
And it's still right
wear
there
the
on your
helmet
head.
every day.
I know.
It's a staple of you.
It was from the first time that I went out on an adventure. It was from the first group that I ever joined. Before I
That's
was
so
ever a
great.
sailor.
How do you think somebody took it?
And he just scratches his head.
I don't know. I hope not.
And I
don't
think
know.
at this point, Melos is going to like completely physically mimic him the whole time.
Yeah. He's still not picking up on it.
God.
Bastion has an intelligence of 8.
Oh god.
Look, I have an intelligence of 9, so.
Yeah, so Bastion is just like, this is over his head, and he's just like,
All right, Bastion,
mean,
you
if
ready to
it is
know the
gone-
secret?
What's that?
It's right here, bud.
he takes it out of your hand.
Where did you find it?
I took it from you almost 8 hours ago.
Why would you do that?
And he puts it on his head. Like, adjusts it in his, like, curly fro of hair. Like,
I don't know why you would do that.
Bastion, I'm going to feel bad if you completely forgot you said you're going to help me work on my stealth skills.
That sounds like something I would say. So I'm going to assume that I said it. And I'm happy I could help.
and he walks away, slightly confused. Alright, second one.
Second one is going to be the dagger off of Gaia.
Alright, that will be another sleight of hand check then. Cool. And Gaia, this is going to be your passive, because I'm assuming that it's going to be Melos trying to find the right time to do it,
Oh, yeah.
rather than when you are actively trying to look for it.
Stalking him throughout the day,
Yeah.
waiting for an opportune moment.
So, what was your roll,
22.
Gaia?
Got really close. That's an 18.
Oof.
So,
Would have been better if I rolled a 2, though. I was like, he's got it. And you were like, passive. I was like, ooh, maybe not.
Gaia, you are... So throughout the day, you do notice Melos, like, eyeing you down, and you know it's going to be coming for you. And so, like, you keep a hand on your
I was
dagger
going to say,
every
can I
time that
roll
you
a
can.
stealth to see if he would notice me? But I'm not even proficient at stealth, so it's just a +4.
No, so you, Gaia, you notice Melos, like, tailing you throughout the day, and you're like, today's the day. Today's the day. You keep a hand on your dagger as often as you can. And throughout the day, you keep checking. Like, you see Melos and you keep checking your side, dagger's still there. Alright, he hasn't gotten me yet. You sit down at dinner, and you pull out, you got the fork there, you pull out your dagger. Wait a second. Your dagger's not at your side.
And
you
Melos is
just-
using his dagger to cut his dinner up.
you just see Melos across the table, like, twirling your dagger, and start cutting into his food.
You're like, good job. I was waiting for it, and I...
Listen, I thought these talons were going to be, like, a problem trying to pickpocket, but, like, it's a nice little hook.
I thought for sure
I just
was gonna
looped
hear
and
you.
waited for you to walk away, and I didn't even have to pull. It just...
Very nice. I was kind of... I saw you every now and then. I was kind of waiting to hear your talons. But... good job. I give it back.
Yeah, Lizzie's the next one. If I get stabbed, just let it... It was justified. And I give his dagger back.
Look, I can fix you up. Just... that way you don't have to Opasha.
Alright, Melos, third.
Going after Lizzie,
What are you trying to take from her?
I want to steal her confidence. So what would be... what would piss Lizzie off the most that I
Well,
could
you
manage
do know
to
that
take?
you do know that she always has a flask on her hip.
Yeah, that... perfect.
She's got her belt of daggers, a flask on there. You haven't seen too many, like... So you're going for the flask?
Yep.
Alright, let me pull up Lizzie's character sheet real quick.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
What'd you roll?
A nat 20
Yes!
plus 10, so a 30.
Holy
Right.
shit. That's amazing.
I knew once your arms went up, you were like, game on.
Nat 30, baby.
I'm gonna give her one chance.
Yeah, I know. I'm still nervous this 30 is not going to be enough. If she gets a 31, I'm going to be pissed.
He's like,
I'm not gonna move it. I don't know if you can see.
Competing natural 20s. I bet you.
Competing natural 20s.
Plus,
So can this be a casual sleight of hand battle? Can we do another one? I don't know what you rolled against for her, so.
Yeah,
but it's not plus 10, is it, on for her?
I don't think so. I'm seeing if there's anything that she's got that would tip the scales. I think you've got this, but I don't want to have you celebrate prematurely. Just give me a second to look through her stuff real quick. I'm sorry, I know this isn't the most engaging D&D content. Me looking through a character sheet frantically, just like...
This is importante, though.
I mean,
it is
if we're
very important.
If we're gonna take time to check the rules, this is the time.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, totally.
For this. This changes the outcome of the rest of the story.
Not only did he, just gain a new body, but he also lost an appendage.
Is it his thumb? Is it his pinky?
Oh, Japanese sacrificial pinky, 100% if I lose.
Be careful.
All right. So, Melos, you are walking away with Lizzie's flask tucked into your belt. Just out of sight so that no one looking at you could notice that it's there easily. And you passed her on the upper deck as she was talking to a couple of crew members about some... you're not sure what the conversation was about. You were too focused on what you were doing. It was something like a new hammock for their bed area because the one that they're in is torn too much. Another one was complaining about the food as of recently, where they haven't been able to eat it for the past couple of nights without getting an upset stomach or something like that. And so as they're talking, you're hauling one of the lines to pull the sails in, or like pull them up halfway for the night so that it's easier for a smaller crew to handle. And as you're pulling, you bump into her. Oh, sorry, Lizzie. As you pocket her flask off her belt.
I feel a butt coming.
You get the rope tied off as quickly as you feel comfortable doing without raising suspicion. And you walk below deck. You're walking through the gun deck, and you hear... God damn it, Melos!
I would like to
What
do
do
a
you do?
stealth check to hide.
Alright, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Is it a
What'd you
one?
roll?
It's a 2 + 4, so a 6.
Is stealth one of the things where you automatically roll a 9 or higher, though?
It might be. Let me double check.
Okay. I don't know if it's going to help, but it's worth checking.
Yeah, no, that's I for deceit. That's when I make insight checks.
Okay. So,
I'm gonna pull a Mehrik and try to hide under a table, but
Yeah.
my ass and tail are just completely out.
no, you dive under the table, and your tail is still sticking out into the middle of the walkway, and you just hear, "Where is he? Where is he?" Oh. And you feel a pain. Go ahead and give me a contesting grapple check.
Okay. Oh shit.
So you get to do either acrobatics or athletics.
Oh, thank God, acrobatics. 29.
29?
Yeah, 19 + 10 to my acrobatics.
All right. So you feel a tug on your tail and then just tuck and roll out the other side, hop up ready to
And
go.
immediately take a swig.
I mean, I don't think she's got any reactions to keep you from doing that. Yeah, no. So you take... Don't you dare. Don't you... Oh. And what is your...
Spin and a flick and just...
Here we go. Attacks.
Roll initiative.
Oh, why do I not have... There we go.
Lizzie is the big bad.
Does a 22 hit.
Ah, man, just misses.
Okay. Your stats are stacked. Like +10, +10, +10.
No, my only +10s are acrobatics and sleight of hand.
I don't know if you were being facetious or not. Does a 22 actually miss?
No, I have a 15 AC.
Okay. And then that is... Ooh, okay. So Lizzie pulls 2 daggers off of her belt and throws them both at you. The first one, as you are taking a swig, nails the flask out of your hand. The other one narrowly misses your hand. As she launches herself over the table at you. We're not going to get into an actual fight because that's going to bog down this, but it's just you and Lizzie is just trying to beat the shit out of you.
Valid. She's just mad I won.
Pretty much. She's not going to nail your hand to the deck because she didn't catch you doing it. But I'm going to roll a couple of rolls for her. Neither one of them hit, so you managed, like, I rolled, 14 and 14. So you managed to, like, roll out of the way and get away from her, leaving her flask behind.
At her, just pissing her off more.
You leave her flask behind, and she picks it up and lets you run off. But there's, you notice in the days afterwards, Lizzie's got a little bit of a newfound respect for you.
Stellar.
All right. Mehrik, what
Yes.
are you doing over the few weeks that you have as downtime?
So 2 things. One, I want to keep working with Pasha in hopes that if ever something happens again in the future where one of my friends is injured, hurt, bleeding, dying, that I could do something.
Is this motherfucker about to multi-class into cleric?
He said, can I learn CPR?
Okay.
As a CLS guy, tourniquets around the neck. That's what you do.
Are you trying to learn magic that can heal? Or are you trying to learn medically how to keep someone from dying?
Well, I know Pasha doesn't really love magic. So I wouldn't go to him thinking that he's going to teach me any magic healing, but just medically,
Okay.
how to keep somebody from dying.
Give me a medicine check then. Actually, sorry. Instead of adding your wisdom, add your intelligence score. So whatever bonuses or proficiencies you have special to medicine, keep those.
Okay.
But then instead of whatever your wisdom score added to it, add your intelligence score.
9.
Total.
I rolled a 2.
Oh no. Well, unfortunately, as you are trying to watch after Pasha and learn from him, you are working on it's not a bad injury. There's a simple, like, broken finger that Pasha is trying to, like, readjust. He's like, all right, all I need you to do is hold his arm down here, all right? Just hold it there.
Okay.
I'm going to put his finger back into place, and he will be good to go.
Oh,
Okay,
that's not where I
understood.
thought this story was going.
So as he's trying to hold it into place, can you give me you are trying to hold the arm down, and they keep moving, and you can't seem to hold the arm down well enough.
Well, yeah, because my hands are like this big.
You have
So
the
you
strength
try
of a
and-
10-year-old.
Well, you try and call on some magic to try and, like, keep the arm from moving.
He's got a higher strength score than I do.
Do I really?
Yes.
What?
I have higher strength.
It's a higher strength score than I do.
You try and use some magic to keep the arm from moving.
I'm gonna use shocking grasp to turn. Like, out of instinct, I'm just like, stay still, and kind of accidentally cast shocking grasp on this guy.
Stop resisting.
All right. So yeah, go ahead and roll the damage for that.
We're gonna need to cut that.
3.
3. the person who is there, you use shock and grasp, and their entire body goes rigid, but unfortunately that means that one of their legs that was resting kicks out and hits Pasha as he's trying to get the finger back into place. Pasha falls over because he's trying to balance on a single peg leg after that point.
Oh, yeah.
Pulls the finger in the opposite direction, and you see the entire hand resting on the edge of the table just go.
Oh, God. Did it work?
As the person on the table is as Pasha is just like, oh shit, trying to grab himself up. He's got like the claws of his iron chicken claw like just latched into the table as he's trying to get his other hand up and get his peg leg underneath him. Just like, no, why would you think that worked? Oh god.
Learning isn't perfect, but learning is progress.
Please calm down. Mehrik, out.
But I can
Mehrik,
help. I need to...
out now.
Okay, I'll be back tomorrow.
I'm so sorry about that. Please don't. As he goes to like trying to reset an entire hand now instead of just a finger.
Sorry. And the other thing that I want to do is I'm gonna find Gaia.
That was just a short morning. That's not 2 weeks worth of content.
Right.
No. Gaia.
Yes, Mehrik.
I think it's time I meet the captain.
You want me to take you to go meet the captain?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's time.
Okay. And I'm gonna look. Unfortunately, I'm gonna look for Lizzie to just be like, hey, so our little stowaway is ready to apologize. He wants to talk.
I mean, that would be part of it.
Oh God. Oh, he's here. Okay. You walk so slow. I thought I was ahead. Okay.
I have little feet.
Okay. So you want to...
He wants an audience with the captain. He just... I don't... Look, I'm just like...
Lizzie's
stand
face
up.
gets uncharacteristically soft as she squats down in front of you, Mehrik. Are you sure about this? Because she can be, like, really, really bitchy. And I just don't want to see... I've come to... I've come to appreciate your presence here on the ship a little bit more than the other crew members.
Really?
Looking at Gaia.
Not too much. I would still throw you over the side in an instant. But I would hate to see the captain throw you over the side. And she can sometimes be like that.
But it's been a while. And the captain said that you look out for your crew and then look out. I can't remember. Oh, God, I can't play smart characters.
The 3 rules, it's...
I remember the 3 rules, but she said you look out for your crew first. You look out for something and then look out for captain in that order.
Oh, respect your crew, respect the sea, respect the captain.
That's it. And so she said the crew first. And so I'm part of the crew because I was just helping Pasha. And so I think I'll be okay. I'm hoping I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Guy's gonna come with me, and you could come with me.
No, I'm not going to be a part of that conversation. But, yeah, you'll be fine. And she pats you on the shoulder and looks at Gaia. I don't know if he's going to be fine.
Why is he bringing me into this?
I'll let the captain know that you want to have an audience with her. And, I'll get back to you. So, a day goes by. And then Lizzie finds the two of you and lets you know that the captain is willing to meet with you anytime today. You just need to go and knock on the door of the captain's quarters.
Okay. Gaia, will you come with me?
I'm gonna come with you, and I'll show you how to properly enter and greet the captain. I said, look, we're gonna knock hard 3 times, wait for us to be told enter. We're gonna walk in there, stand in front of her, and then that's when we're gonna. But you gotta be proud. You gotta stand up, long, confident, strong. We'll be okay. We'll be okay.
Walk on your toes, curtsy.
Okay, maybe not all that. We're not.
Oh, Melos isn't here. Melos would not contribute to this conversation in positive light.
But
Alright, so the two of you make your way to the door of the captain's quarters. If you've got the map up of the ship by chance, it's going to be on the main deck, right around where that number 12 is. It's towards the stern of the ship. There's the 2 staircases that go up to the upper deck there. But there's a doorway in between the 2 staircases that leads to the stern castle, where there are officer quarters as well as the captain's quarters. So you make your way in there, open up that first door, and then ahead of you, directly ahead of you, is the pair of double doors to the captain's quarters. Rich, deep navy blue with gold inlay for designs, and the designs on it, the gold inlays, are maybe a little surprising because it's ivy. It's very floral or plant-based, with ivy stems and leaves curled across the entire door, little gold flowers carved into it as well.
So I look up at Gaia. Swallow hard.
Are you ready?
No.
You want me to do it, or you got it?
I need to do this. And as hard as I can. And then boom, boom, boom. Because he said knock hard.
Give me a strength check. I'm sorry. So we'll see how hard it is.
Oh god, strength is a thing.
Top left.
16.
Oh, okay.
Negative
So, yeah,
1.
It sounds like a normal knock.
Nice.
And you hear, "You may enter."
I'm just gonna open the door and push him in, and then close the door.
Wait.
Good luck, kid.
And you see Captain Dara facing away from you, looking out the windows that create a full, almost like, the wall of the wooden wall comes up about little above waist height on her, and then it's a window that goes pretty much up to the ceiling, curves around almost the entirety of the back wall. Yeah, panoramic view of the open ocean behind her. So, you are the rat that's been crawling around the lower decks of my ship. She turns around. It is a pleasure to finally meet you in person.
I curtsy. Pleasure to
What
meet.
have you to say for yourself?
My name is Mehrik Bafflehelm. I'm 10 years old. I'm sorry I electrocuted you. And I think it's really amazing that you want to learn more about what's past the map, and I want to help.
Give me a persuasion check. I'll say with advantage.
Ooh. 19.
Please, have a seat. She gestures to the seat in front of the desk in between her and you. Walking in, you now notice that there is a massive, like 7 foot long or 7 foot wide desk. I guess 7 foot long. It's like 2 feet deep between you and her. There's a seat on her side, but then there's like another 3 feet or so where she can stand and look out the window. And there's about 10 feet or so between the front of the desk and the door. There are 2 armchairs, there are 2 armchairs on your side of the table, both blue velvet upholstery with some sort of, like, looking closer at it as you approach, the arms don't seem to be made of gold, just have a gilded, like, paint over wood.
So I'm gonna shuffle over.
This captain's quarters is, I wouldn't say lavish, but if you think of an explorer, there are heads, taxidermied heads mounted on the walls, several different blades, like of different kinds, like a sword, a dagger, a spear, mounted on the wall as well. There are some rare plants on a shelf along one wall. There are some precious gems inlaid to different, like, rings, necklaces, pieces of jewelry. In one corner there is an armor stand with a breastplate that looks to be made of some sort of white metal.
So, like, staring at all of these things, I'm just gonna pick up my long cloak and shuffle over and climb up into the chair and just, like, kick my feet.
Captain Dara is wearing her blue overcoat, the leather armor, like, attached to it at the shoulder. She's got leather gloves that come up to the elbow. Actually, I think she's got one leather glove that comes up to the elbow on her right side, and then on the left side there is, I believe, a white glove. I can't see anymore, but yeah, yep, white leather glove on one arm, a darkened leather glove on the other. You see a very stark contrast, binary contrast in the way that she is dressed. Like, she's got the blue overcoat, but then the armor and, like, all the leather and metal armor that she has on is dark leather with dark leather underpieces with a very bright white metal, or light, like, white leather, bleached leather underpieces with a very, like, blackened iron looking metal on top of it.
Neat. You have a lot of cool stuff.
I have traveled far and wide to collect all of this cool stuff. And it sounds like you are interested in officially becoming part of the crew. You hold similar beliefs and ideals, it seems.
Well, I don't really have any other choice. I can't go home, and I really like everybody on the ship, especially Melos and Gaia, and nothing. But I think that we should all learn everything that we can, and that's kind of why we're here. And that's what Bastian told me the other day, is why you're here. And you're really scary, but I respect that.
You might be the bravest sailor on this ship. Do you know that?
I don't feel very brave right now.
Bravery isn't not feeling fear. She sits down next to you. unclasps the saber at her waist and sets it off to the side. Bravery isn't not feeling fear, Mehrik. I am frightened every time there is a storm. I am frightened every time there are sails on the horizon that I do not recognize. I am even afraid every time we come across an uncharted island.
Really?
I'm afraid for my crew, I'm afraid for my ship, and I'm afraid for my own well-being. But I am not brave because I don't feel fear. I am brave because I feel that fear, and I continue pushing forward anyway. Just like you. Now you may have felt very alone when you first stepped foot onto the ship, but even without trying, or maybe trying to not be, and in spite of those efforts, you've become part of this ship. I see the way that the other crew members look after you. I see the way that my daughter looks after you and protects you.
Your daughter?
Lizzie.
Oh.
I see the way that they put themselves in harm's way to make sure that you are taken care of. The only thing that I ask in return from you, in being recognized officially as part of this crew, is the promise that when the time comes, you will do the same for them. Look at Melos. He has given up so much to make sure that you were kept safe. To make sure that myth, in an attempt to make sure that myth survived.
Yeah, I feel at least partially responsible for that.
Good, you should.
I was trying to help.
I know, and that is why I'm not going to pass any judgment or punishment on you. Again, all I ask is the oath that you will do the same for them if needed.
I promise.
Very good. I've heard that you've been... She stands up and turns away. I heard that you have been working alongside Pasha. Is that true?
Yeah, I was just helping him yesterday. Well,
I also heard about that yesterday, and it does not seem like it went incredibly well.
progress was made.
I believe that your particular skill set might be better used on the gun deck. It's not a permanent installation, just something that maybe you should try instead. And if it doesn't work out, you can move back to working with Pasha, but you're going to be the powder monkey.
I'm like picturing myself as a monkey right now. And I can't shift my shape like that though yet.
No, you'll be working alongside Bastian to ensure that the cannons, gunpowder, and cannonballs are properly kept, properly dry, and kept away from any flames.
Okay. So, just like making a mental note, do not use firebolt in the gun deck. Okay.
Good. You're dismissed.
Thank you. And thank you.
You just see her turn her head over her shoulder, nod, and look back out over the ocean.
I'm gonna pop down, and with an extra little stride in my step, I'm gonna fling the door open. Are you still there, Gaia?
Oh yeah, I'm still there. I'm like listening in.
And I say, I'm a powder monkey. And I close the door and I just march.
Alright.
TikTok's gonna appreciate that.
Love it. Gaia, what do you do over the couple of weeks?
All right. So I would like to train Yuri. I want to try to train her for the ready action. So,
Okay.
in the sense that, you know how you get a dog to sit and then like wait for it, and then you like try to throw something over its head, like my German Shepherd, throw it over its head.
Yep.
Right as that opportunity he strikes.
All right.
So
Give me an animal handling check.
that's what I'm gonna try to do for the first. Animal handling. That's a 17.
Yeah. So you try it with the bone at first to try and get, because you know that it's something Nuri's going to go after anyway. So like, at first you're holding it, and like as you're holding it, she keeps trying to grab at it. You go, no, wait. And then you throw it, and she just watches it launch, and then looks back at you. And you hear in your head, "Can I go get it now?"
Yes. Go.
She sprints over and grabs it, and then like starts chewing on it, doesn't bring it back to you. And so this goes on for like, a couple of days, and then eventually you get to the point where, like, especially since you and Nuri can communicate mentally now, you just kind of go, you wait until I throw. I wait until you throw, and then when it's in the air, then I grab it. I got it this time. And she jumps up into the air and catches it midair. And so yeah, Nuri can now do the ready action.
Nice. And then after that,
Also, you've got time to do one more.
one more. All right. I'm gonna try and teach her the. This could be fun. I'm gonna try and teach her the grapple action.
Okay.
That is also a 17.
All right.
Oh, I lied. That's a 20.
Hey!
Nice. So how do you... Little, like, visual description of what that looks like as you're trying to get her
Okay,
to understand
so-
the idea of grabbing something.
So, she's gotten bigger. And so, the little, like, playing, the aggressive play has gotten to the point where, look, I'm not that strong. So it's, all right, I have a treat for you, but you got to be able to get it. And you got to be able to pin me. And like, I'll like have it on me, and I'm just trying to, she's got to immobilize me so she can actually get up into it. And so it's playful, but she's learning to use her strength to hold things down.
Yeah, she snorts and goes, piece of cake. And, I mean, yeah, we'll do a couple of grapple checks. You do athletics or acrobatics, whichever is higher, and I'll roll for her.
I'll lose that one real quick.
I've got her stats up as well, so I'll let you know what she rolled.
At 14.
Was that athletics or acrobatics?
Acrobatics.
So yeah, you are basically just like spinning around, dancing around. She rolled a nat 1 plus her athletics. So yeah, she like keeps leaping at you to try and grab it directly out of your pocket, and you're just like, no, you gotta grab me, as you keep dancing out of the way.
Like, just
So let's do another one.
Well, that one's not good. That's only an 11.
She rolled less than a 10.
Oh my.
So she's like weaving in and out of your feet to try and trip you up, and you're just like, no, this isn't gonna work, Nuri.
Got that
She's
big
like,
old
no, but
+3 in strength."
if I keep doing this, I'll get you. I just need to grab your foot, and it's over. And so she's just like trying to weave in and out of your feet and trip you up, and you're just like, this is This is what I'm good at, is not getting tripped up.
Yeah.
So after you like push her away with your foot, she kind of like tumbles off to the side, catches herself on all four claws, digging into the wood of the deck. Everything flares out. She looks like when a cat is getting ready to fight and their entire body like furls out. They do the puffball. She kind of does that, but with like her neck frills and her tail up and her wings out. What'd you roll?
14.
Dirty 20. So she leaps at you, front paws directly on your chest, and you actually like roll over backwards to try and get out, but she stays with you. You both kind of somersault a couple of times, and she lands with her paws on your shoulders and just digs her head down into your into your shirt, grabs the bone out, and just starts, still has you pinned to the ground, is just chewing on it triumphantly.
Good girl.
And so
Get off.
you do that a few more times. Yeah. Each day for like the next week, you just go over this with her. Do the same kind of exercise, practice again and again. And eventually she gets it. Like, okay, there is a tactical advantage. She doesn't at first understand, like, why would I play with my food if I'm just going to eat it? And then eventually she understands, like, sometimes I get it now. Sometimes it's not food that we're fighting. Sometimes I have to keep something pinned so that we can get more food later. That makes sense. So there you go. Nuri now understands grappling and is one of the actions that she can take if you don't use your, what is it, a bonus action to give her a command on your turn?
Yeah, if I can tell her to do anything on a bonus action. But as of now, on her own, she can attack, dodge, help, dash, grapple, and ready.
Yep. Perfect.
Nice.
She's got her own little repertoire.
So
I
she
like
basically
it.
has all the actions.
Pretty much. So yeah, that is the several weeks of being out on the sea, on the open sea, no islands in sight. But towards the end of these few weeks, stores are getting a little low. Rationing has gone up, so you don't have the full plates each meal like you were getting used to. You're getting like half the amount that you were at the beginning of the voyage. And Melos, since you are still the navigator, you have been specifically asked to keep an eye out for any islands or ships, shipwrecks even, something that might hold supplies, provisions.
Is this something I need to roll for?
Yeah, go ahead and give me perception checks. Or give me a perception check, just because this will...
Would this be passive perception or an actual perception check?
Actual, because this is going to be you up in the crow's nest, like actually searching throughout the day.
Cool.
And we're going to say that this will decide how long it takes to find
Let's say
something.
12 plus 8, so dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
All right, yeah. So you find a couple of waterlogged crates, like on the not on the first day, but like
Right.
after about a week of looking, you find some waterlogged crates, and then you see some more waterlogged crates on the next day, and
Sunny
you put
taught
together.
me water currents. Would I be able to like track that? Cool.
I was getting to that because you don't even need to make a roll for that one. You realize, okay, there must be a shipwreck. At least one large one, if not several smaller ones. And you put it all together and you realize that you could direct the captain to wherever this shipwreck is.
Dope. Dope.
So, do you do that?
No, I
don't wanna speak
I'm
for
just
you.
playing. Yeah, I would.
And we all starve to death, and that's the end.
Yeah, exactly. That is the game. TPK because Melos
Would I go
reckon
to the
that that's
captain about that, or would that be Lizzie to pass along the chain?
The captain did specifically ask you to keep an eye out for
Then, yes,
supplies
I
or
would go
places
directly to the
to
captain.
restock. And so she has given you the invite to go directly to her with any information. So, so we're gonna fast forward through this because we are getting close to our time limit. I do love the role playing, but I also kind of want to expedite this stuff.
It's fine.
So you go to the captain, you let her know, and she directs the ship in that direction. Follows what you say. Follows your direction on this one. So like you do get to feel a little good after losing your body. Like you managed to steal, or you managed to get your
Mojo back.
Yeah, your mojo back. And honestly, I am going to say you get a +1 to sleight of hand checks moving forward now, just because you spent all that time practicing.
Core.
Nice.
It's not a huge thing, but I figure you already have double proficiency on that, right? Because that's your... and I don't want to give you advantage on that yet. Because...
No, that's reasonable.
You're just trying to get used to your body.
Yep.
But I think a +1 is fair here.
Stellar.
But yeah, you get your mojo back as far as like picking pockets, stealing from people, while also being an actual navigator. Like you've spent enough time on the ship, like you're pulling your weight.
Is Sonny a racist? Yes. Does he have some valuable information? Also, yes.
And so you are able to direct the ship in the direction of this shipwreck, or maybe these shipwrecks if it's multiple. As you get closer, you do see more and more waterlogged crates and barrels. And you see an island on the horizon. An island with, as you get closer, dozens of masts, dozens of ships dashed upon its shores.
Being terrified, not terrified of the water, but being less comfortable with water now, I think Melos, not saying he's pulling the rein, he would be much more reserved about getting too close and would more likely recommend taking rowboats in, because he's going to be a little panicked that something is causing all of these ships to go down, and getting too close might cause an issue.
Okay. So yeah, here's where we will pick up with the role playing again. So you go down and let the captain know that. Very well. We will get a small recon crew together. I will let you decide who to bring with you.
Oh, wait, I'm going.
Absolutely. You are the navigator after all. And I believe bringing Gaia with you would be prudent. He has proven time and time again that his particular style of combat is very useful.
Yeah, I'm great at stabbing people in the back, face to face. Obviously doesn't go too well.
Beishin might be a good third for this. Just because he can... Well, let's be honest. He is a rock.
Yeah. You mind if I
So
bring
may
the
not-
kid as well?
You choose who you want to come with you. I am simply going to provide a suggestion. Beishin may be a good third for this, between you and Gaia. Other than that, it is up to you.
Aye,
She goes
Captain.
back to the captain's quarters. So, Gaia, Melos. I mean, I guess Mehrik as well.
Don't even
because
ask Mehrik. I just grab him by the scruff of his cloak and just bring him with.
Come on,
Mehrik,
kid.
you're...
We got stuff.
Just take him away from his books he's reading.
Is this a powder monkey job?
This is explore new land job.
Learning.
And I pick him up and look me. There are sunken ships. Do not do anything brazen.
Ooh, I was just reading something I think will help for that.
And this is why we're bringing you along. Beishin.
And you see Beishian's head stick around the corner from the same room that Mehrik was in.
You trying to go explore some sunken ships and some land?
I do not mind the land, but I don't swim. I only doggy paddle.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm in the same boat now, but we got Gaia for that part.
If you really want me to come, I can.
Well, I'm not gonna force you to do anything. You outrank me.
This Bastion just like,
I mean, Captain recommended you. Not trying to like strong arm you, but
Let me know if no one else wants to go. If no one else wants to go,
I'll keep you on your
can go.
reservation. From who I know on the ship, who would be a... Because we haven't met a whole lot of the ship. Because, like...
you're not gonna get me to tell you like
No. I'm just
who
trying
the
to...
best person to come with is. What are you looking
not
for?
Not that. I'm more looking towards, like, are there any shipmates that we haven't directly worked with yet that are good scavengers?
You're not sure because there's roughly 40 shipmates that you haven't interacted with on any meaningful level.
That's fair. Fuck it. We're bringing
It's
Lizzie.
more
Let's
just-
annoy her for a little bit.
All right. So this is something Mehrik, like Melos just says that. We're bringing Mizzy because it's fun to annoy her.
Look,
Do you know what I heard about Lizzie?
It's fun to annoy her, but we're gonna hear it all about it the entire way there, the entire way back.
I know, it's great. And then we get to make fun of her that I stole her flask.
You guys want to know a secret?
What?
Come here.
Yes.
Come here. Come here. Ben, come here. Ben down.
It's only the three of us in there. Like, okay.
Lizzie is the captain's daughter.
Wait. How do you know?
Who?
Yeah. Her mom told me.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's definitely coming along. Lizzie!
Wait. That's what you and the captain talked about.
Yeah, and she said I was brave. She said I was the bravest one on the ship.
You are my brave little man.
And I'm a powder monkey.
Lizzie, your mom said you're going to shore with us.
Excuse me?
She said I get to decide who's going to shore, and I choose you.
Lizzie comes like sprinting around the corner, like slides. What's that movie called?
Risky business.
Yes, Risky Business style, comes sliding past the doorway and then like runs back in. Who told you?
Told me what?
Who told you?
Told me what?
About my mom.
Who's your mom?
I'm not going to say it.
I don't know.
I don't
who
have a
your-
mom. She may as well be dead as far as I'm concerned.
That's fine, but I spoke to her and she said you're coming with, so...
Oh, you can speak with the dead now? Cool.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
You're gonna,
Perks of
you're
being
gonna
able to,
need
like,
that.
cross the veil and then come back, you get some superpowers.
You're gonna need it moving forward because I'm going to kill whoever told you.
No, okay, but yeah, let's go.
Give me a persuasion check.
Shit. That's an 11.
Why? I would much rather just stay here on the ship and get drunk all day.
Because we work together as a group, so, and as first mate, it's your responsibility to make sure provisions are in good order, so we need you out with us to double check everything we're bringing back to make sure we're not bringing back shit.
Technically, I am just the crew to captain liaison, and the person in charge of making sure that the ship is well stocked is Candle. So maybe you should go ask him.
Lizzie,
Them. It.
I want you to come.
Melos immediately shoots his hand across to cover Merrick's mouth. Yeah, maybe Candle's a good idea.
Cool. You okay there, little one?
Yeah, food's been weird, right, kid?
Why'd you
All
do
right.
that?
Food's been weird, right, kid?
I'll catch you all later. She walks away.
Read the room, kid.
I don't know what that means.
She's mad about that info. You don't talk about that info.
The captain said, so I thought it was okay.
Melos is gonna shake his head and go find Candle.
Alright.
Can we go now?
Candle is up on the deck, organized because, like, it is known that there's a crew going out to the island on a rowboat. So Candle is getting the rowboat set up and making sure that it is all set to go.
Hey, Candle, I'm 0 for 2 on trying to get a third shipmate to come to shore.
That seems problematic. A perfect crew would be that of 4 people going ashore.
Yeah, I've got my 3. Will you be the 4th?
Calculating.
What if his candle gets wet?
I would not be the worst person to go ashore. However, my mode of transportation is not the most stable, and going ashore is not always prudent. Give me a persuasion check.
Oh yeah, she's staying on shore. We're going to the next person now. That was a 2.
Besides, I would be much more suited for staying here and organizing the ship.
I'm just gonna go to the upper deck of the main hull and stand on top of it and just call out to who wants to go on shore? This should not be so difficult.
You see, like, a couple
Not you. You're staying here.
You see a weathered hand, like, raise up to head level.
You guys mind parting the sea a little bit?
And you see the dwarf woodworker that you've seen walking around the ship, you know, working on some of the wood, fixing some of the holes in the hull whenever a storm comes along that puts some strain on it. And he steps forward. He's wearing a pair of overalls with a long, like, most dwarves take pride in their beards and, like, braid them. His is just long and
Unkempt.
no mustache. It's like an Amish beard. He's got his hands underneath his overall straps. Well, I do declare I am mighty keen on heading ashore.
What's the name?
You can call me Obit Darktank.
All right, Obit, let's go.
Oh, well, golly gee williker, ain't this a kick in the pants? And he runs off. You
And
see
the
him come
moment he
back, like-
walks off, Melos just thinks to himself, I'm gonna hate this.
He comes back a
What
moment
have I
later,
done?
or like 5 minutes later, with a stick over his shoulder, with a bandana, a red and white polka dotted bandana tied to it over his shoulder. We heading off now?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna ask. Yeah, guy up, Mehrik, you ready to go?
Well, yee-haw! And he hops over the side and, like, jumps into the still, like, suspended rowboat.
Before we go, Candle, is there anything in particular we need to prioritize to bring back?
Food and fresh water.
Got it.
Fresh water before food.
Thanks, Candle. Do you mind lowering us down?
And they you see them single-handedly
lever,
grab
Crunk.
you see them single-handedly grab the rope that is tied around to lower the rowboat down. They undo it and then hold it with one hand as all 4 of you are in the boat together.
We should have brought
You just
him.
see their arm you just see their arm, like, slowly unwind, like, they pick up the rest of the rope and you see their arm slowly unwinding as the boat gently lowers down into the water below.
Thanks, Candle.
Do come back safe. I would hate to have to reorganize the sleeping quarters.
I'll make sure.
Maybe this time I'll come back with the right body and I'll start rowing.
Obit just goes, "Is there such a thing as a wrong body?"
Yeah, this.
I think that's a mighty fine body you have there, if I do say so myself.
This body doesn't let me breathe underwater anymore, so it's about 50% as adequate as my last one.
My body can't breathe underwater neither. Saying my body ain't good?
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep rowing.
Unbelievable. What's the kid here for?
I'm here to help.
Oh.
And I'm not a kid. I'm the powder monkey.
He's knowledgeable about a great many things.
Well, howdy day. And, guy, I know your speciality. I'm looking forward to seeing it in person.
I'd rather not. Hopefully we don't come to that for once.
I mean, I'm hoping that we do. And Obit pulls a contraption out of his backpack.
Ooh,
It
brought an
looks like
artificer. Dope.
It looks like a Jack in the Box. And he starts turning the crank. And it even starts playing a little tune. It goes, "How about I get us to shore a little bit faster?" And as that, you see like accordion springs like jump out as a propeller descends into the water. And as he's turning the crank, the propeller starts up, and the boat starts to move forward faster than any of you could row it.
Ooh. And I'm just like gonna stare at it and like see if I can understand how it works.
Oh, we're gonna have fun on the shore, I'll tell you what. And that is where we're going to call this session for tonight. We will pick up next week. I know, but we will pick up next week with our group of 4 exploring this uncharted island full of shipwrecks. Especially since I think something may have been broken by the cat just a moment ago. So, until we see you next, I am Jeff Sitz.
I'm Boser.
I'm Lucas.
I'm T.
And y'all just keep
Geeking out.
Love you all.
Good night.